I'm telling you, Shane in a hole in the ground is way cooler than it sounds. Hey, he's a poet and he doesn't even know it, but his feet show it because they're Longfellows. Glamping is a Tubi original directed by Nikki Koss, not Nikki Cross. We're not going to the almost a superhero era. We're not going to the Wyatt Six era. If you're not a wrestling fan, you have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. But this is also written by Alexa Garster and features Rosemary Edisi as Olivia, not Sharon Tate, who just wants to maintain her social media output, her influence. She wants to grow her following. But then something happens that necessitates her going with her boyfriend Gabe and two friends Sid and John into the woods for a glamping trip. What is glamping? Well, according to this movie, it's where you can camp, unwind, but also keep your social media activity going. Like there's some kind of tower, the tower, Rapunzel, where you can basically have great internet and everything and just do whatever it is that influencers do. Look, it's supposed to be part satire, part horror. It's 82 minutes long, and it's a Tubi original, so you know what you're going to get, a mixed bag. I will say the cast certainly tries, and there are a couple halfway funny moments, but this also forgets that it's a horror movie for a majority of its runtime, and I get why they do try to go with a shocking twist later on. A shocking twist is super 1000% telegraphed, and okay, I'm just going to be honest, the characters all annoyed me in this. Maybe that was by design, but when you basically are trying to be part satire and only succeeding a little bit of the time, and it's not really much of a horror movie, you just end up having a film that's sort of there. Did I hate it? No. Did I find it boring? Excessively. So that's actually the worst thing about it, is I wanted to at least somewhat like this, and it just ended up really boring the tits off of me. It's on Tubi if you want to check it out. It's the 3, 2, 1 and spoilers. Is that quick? Yeah, that's really goddamn quick because there's a few things to talk about in the story that really necessitate me just rushing into the spoiler section. So, Olivia and Gabe are together. Gabe's very laid back and everything. Wants to try to be there for Olivia. And basically, we start off pretty much near the end of the movie where Olivia ends up trying to save one of her friends, gets her foot caught in a bear trap, and then we cut back to the beginning of the movie. I did note who talks like this. I don't understand why people talk like this on social media with all the glamorous terminology and the weird lingo. And yes, I used to be a teenager slash, early 20-something, and we talked weird then. I guess you could say that. Maybe I'm just finally old enough. I'm nearly 45, where I'm like, how fucking dare you young people talk this way? But whatever, it's fine. I'm going to assume that they're like that. So there is a girl named Daisy. Is getting all glammed up and everything. I'm going to mention glam a whole lot because that's pretty much the theme of this. She gets, a nice outfit and everything. She's talking about this. Olivia works at a high-end clothing shop. So high-end, it literally looks like it's in a strip mall in a small city. Maybe it's in LA. I don't know. I don't really necessarily care. This is headed by Melissa, not of cheerleader Melissa fame, played by Annie Grant, not Amy Grant, because I don't know if Annie actually can sing. I know Annie is okay. She's okay, Annie. And basically her boss has made a lot of promises. She's going to get an assistant job, or production assistant job on a, major studio production. So she's going to leave the store in the care of, not Olivia, somebody else. Olivia gets on Instagram, not Instagram Live, and basically talks about how her boss has been a bitch, this kind of stuff, and everybody's supporting her. Oh, my makeup routine. It's from VXV Makeup. More on them in a minute. So, we then get introduced to Sid. We get introduced to John. Sid is very much into the, not occult stuff, but horoscope stuff and everything. John is kind of the douchey, whatever the fuck he is. And Gabe is very much the laid-back boyfriend that really does try to be there for Olivia. He's working on his thesis. John is doing whatever he's doing. Sid is struggling with her own thing. So everybody's struggling with their own stuff. Also, Olivia's mother does social media influencing stuff, but doesn't follow anybody. She just uses the platform to basically do good things for people, I guess. Kinda. She did monetize her channel, so whatever, you gotta earn that dollar somehow. And exposition-heavy dialogue. They just slam you over the head with a lot of stuff here. And yeah, they decide they're going to go into a cabin in the woods without a giant hand coming out, like at the end of Cabin in the Woods. I'm shocked they never made a sequel. And remember, Josh Whedon was involved in it, and it's probably a good thing they didn't. So, while at a party, Sid ends up revealing the card and said, no, you don't have to worry about this. It's totally fine. What's the card? The tower. The tower. Okay. The Eiffel Tower. Is that what we're going to see in this? Thankfully not. So, her IG explodes. I feel so goddamn out of place saying that. But yeah, her social media following explode. VXV Makeup wants her to be part of this whole thing because she promoted their makeup line. And yeah, basically things are getting a little bit better. Melissa even offers her a job to be an assistant to her job on this studio thing. Whatever, I don't know. And the mother basically says a few things. And, do as I say, not as I do. It's not, it's not a viable career to be a social media influencer. And then a little bit, 20-something minutes into the movie, Daisy is doing something with the VXV makeup and suddenly burns her goddamn face. Gee, I wonder if that's going to tie into the goddamn... It ties into the end of the movie, by the way. It really does. So, suddenly, because Olivia promoted it, and this happened, one little thing can uproot your entire social media following, especially if you latch onto the wrong thing. So, she loses the endorsement, she loses her job, and now let's just take a senior trip into the woods. Are they seniors in college? It almost has to be seniors in college at this point, but while they are young people, I still think that they're, whatever, it's fine. I don't care necessarily. So there's weird dolls in the trees, and, Sid doesn't want to be there. And we just basically get, people drinking, everything. Sid's phone conveniently gets knocked into the bathtub, the hot tub a little bit later on. The mother gets called on kind of a truth or dare thing where Gabe really wants to marry Olivia and is going to ask the mother for, her permission or her blessing. But, conveniently, he's never met the mother, almost like Olivia's afraid of what's going to happen. But she's bound, determined to build her social media following. So, there's glass breaking in the house. Weird stuff's going on. And then we basically get a stupid fight between Gabe and John over a gun because John's drunk. He gets busted in the face. Gabe goes and hides his shotgun, the rifled shot, whatever the fuck it is, in the goddamn, shower. That's a good place for it. And also, basically, Olivia kind of gets knocked for her selfishness. Like, everybody is here for you and everything, and you're still just worried about yourself when we're trying to be there for you. So, there is something written on the thesis. By the way, there is a typewriter in this. I mean, even people my age would have issues with goddamn typewriters, and I'm 40, almost 45. But on the bottom of the thesis, it says, your time with her is up. And then it also turns out that, John reveals that Sid actually has a thing for Gabe. No, Sid actually has a thing for Olivia, and now Olivia doesn't feel the same way, so you think Sid's going to be the killer. No, Sid's not the killer. Sid doesn't want to lose Olivia over this, especially her friendship. And then John reveals that him and Olivia got together in freshman year before both of them, before her and Gabe got together. So all this stuff's just being thrown around and everything. Then suddenly the masked killer shows up. A masked killer that almost looks like it's wearing a burn mask-like thing. Gee, I wonder who the hell it is. So anyway, John got pushed onto a rake on the wall. He's dead. Well, his body gets pulled into the bathtub, the hot tub, and then Gabe gets stabbed in the back, and then Sid ends up getting stabbed, and then we get right back to the beginning where Olivia gets her foot caught in the bear trap. And then she's yelling, nope, we need to go get our story straight. So it turns out Olivia staged all this because she wanted to build her social media following, but nobody was supposed to get hurt. And then the guy said, is that what he was supposed to do? And pulls the guy out of the goddamn closet like it's fucking Scream. And no, that's not it. It's not that guy. It's not the guy she hired. She did a bunch of research for immersive scare tactic things, horror stuff, whatever. Just to spook out her friends, which I guess they wouldn't trace this on social media or Google or anything, or trace her payment methods. But this is all just to basically make it seem like something was going on to build her social media following because she's desperate. That's it. Now, that would have been fine if I gave a shit about any of these characters, but Then it turns out it's actually a guy named Cyrus who's Daisy's boyfriend because he can't even look at her. Okay, rude. You probably should love somebody until they die if you really care about them that much, but to be fair, he wanted revenge for his girlfriend basically getting killed. Also, not exactly like Cyrus was anything to look at besides, well, I probably should have that guy's face on a milk carton or on the side of a panel van saying, if you've seen this guy call somebody, call the neighborhood. No, I'm kidding. It's just the way they made that character look and that character say that stuff. I have nothing against the actor, but it's just like, I can't look at her. Okay, rude. Like, whatever. So then Gabe shows back up and ends up stabbing Cyrus in the back. And Gabe says he's done with her. And then Olivia decides to fully snap and basically stab Gabe while nobody else is around or alive. And then her social media following explodes and she's back on top. Okay. That is it. That's that. I get what the movie was going for, but it failed miserably. Like, it wasn't really that funny. Wasn't horrifying. It was just boring. So F. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rentlin, and until we do not do a glamping trip again, I feel so stupid saying as a white guy, happy trails to you.